MC Popcorn here. This time, not with random words, random sentences, which technically is random words, but this time one sentence to inspire a rap story. So let us go. She was too short to see over the fence, and what she saw over there had her in suspense. What could be over? Maybe someone else was alive. Maybe someone else so mine. Maybe it's about time she tried. It's true that they say grass was greener on the other side, so she tried climbing, but she kept falling. She tried asking her mom, but she was calling random people and she was too busy. So the girl went outside and she had a hissy fit. But unfortunately, the adults never gave a sit. So quickly she quit. She tried to find ways, tried to stack objects, but every time that she did, she fell. And she bet that on the internet there would be an answer. She looked it up, and unfortunately a disaster struck because there was a power outage. That's why her mom was calling all the people. She was outraged out the fact that the world didn't cave to her demands, and she decided to be brave. I'm not gonna look up, I'm gonna look over. Nah, I'ma bear this axe on my shoulder. So this little girl from her axe from her parents' shed, and she decided that she was instead going to knock it down. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, the axe was too heavy for this little girl, cause she was like 6, maybe 7. If she'd wielded badly, she might end up in heaven. Although she was so nosy and bratty that hell was probably where she would end up, and gladly this girl did not take the risk. Instead, she decided to form a little fist, not to punch the wall, but instead to dig under. Such an easy job, she could do it in a slumber. So she started digging she went. And the amount of time and energy she spent was not something that can be easily replayed. But seeing the other thing was worth it, that's what she would say to herself. And after a while, she, the little girl, started to smile, cause she started to see the sign of it greener. And next thing you know, she became kinda meaner, kind of angry, because there was a rock in the way. It was huge, it was ugly, it was dark, it was gray. There was no one around who could play with her and take it out, this rock, that was for sure. So the girl screamed and bashed and cried and kicked and did everything, yes she tried. Unfortunately, that rock was not budging. No matter how many words of encouragement of nudging, she was giving over. And the girl almost gave up, it was game over. A burden too big to bear in the middle of her long flowing hair. But she did not give up yet. She realized that there was something to do. She realized that if she moved a little bit, then going underneath the rock was something that could be pursued. So she went, and finally, after many hours, by this time her house had restored power. She managed to cower beneath the hole that she dug. She had lost control, she was obsessed, and so she went underneath, and finally the other side was in her reach, in her grasp. She almost started to relax until she realized she really had to focus on the task. So she went and she climbed and she finally stood up at a pretty boring place. She was like, what the? Didn't really say it cause she was still only 7 and she did not unleash all those words, but unless the sentiment was the same. She looked around looking for someone to complain, cause this grass was just green. There was not anything cool or bad or obscene. It was just a well-manicured lawn. And there is nothing wrong with having a well-manicured lawn. But unfortunately, she spent like 10 hours long trying to go over the fence. And that goes to show that sometimes, just because you spend too much time on a goal, it might not be worth it. But I guess it wasn't worthless.